because it's time for Fabulous Friday. Woohoo! And as I promised yesterday, I am coming to you with something everybody out there can make for football weekend. As we gather around to celebrate the winning of our favorite football team this weekend, let's make a healthy spinach dip. And I am here to share with you how we can do it in a little of no time. First of all, I want to encourage you to prep a little bit ahead of time, because if you do that, it's so much easier to just put this together in a little of no time. So what you want to do is make sure that you take your frozen spinach and you want to let it unthaw, and be sure to take away all of the water that's formed when your spinach melts. And of course, I'm using my 6x8 Fantasia Fresh. So if I unthaw it ahead of time, I can easily store my spinach in my refrigerator until I'm ready to make my dip. Also, we're going to be using Greek yogurt. I already told you yesterday that spinach is a superfood, so you know the importance of eating superfoods. And of course, Greek yogurt is an excellent protein source also for your diet. In addition to that, we're going to use some mayo, and I am actually using mayo that is an avocado oil mayo. It's just a little bit tastier than just regular mayo. In addition to that, we have minced garlic, and then I have a few chopped pieces of garlic that we're going to use at the end. And for those of you who like to kick things up a little bit, you can even use crushed red pepper. We've got a little salt and pepper, and we had to get our onions already. And again, this is something you can prep ahead of time. So we've got minced, and I like to make these small minced or diced onion, and they're stored in one of my Fantasia Fresh 1-cup containers. And to chop my onions, I used my Vita Santa 3-in-1 chopper to be able to do that. Plus, I also used my grater set, and the grater set was used to grate our carrots. And of course, just like the onions, the carrots can be done ahead of time and stored in your Fantasia Fresh. Those are all the ingredients we're going to need. And one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to saute my onions and, of course, my carrots. And to do that, I am going to use one of our Culinario skillets. I'm actually using the 8-inch small skillet. And as you know, when you're using the Culinario non-stick cookware, you really don't have to use any oil. I am going to use just a little bit of olive oil just to get that little extra flavor. And of course, we also want to just put this on a medium heat, and I'm going to give it just a minute on a medium heat to heat itself. And I'm just going to put like a drop of oil in the pan, because remember, eating healthy also requires you to watch your oil intake. So when you don't have to use oil, you don't need to. Okay, so let's talk about some of the other things we're going to be using. I can't wait to use this when we have guests over, because this is our new Marbella entertainment set, and it comes with this large bowl, which is perfect for putting your chips in, because today with the spinach dip I'm going to use chips. Some other times I might be making a vegetable dip. And if that's the case, I could fill this with vegetables. And then it has the small bowl on top that you can put your dip in. And it comes with 8 bowls. And these are just small serving bowls. Aren't they adorable? And you also get 6 appetizer plates. Woo! Many of you would love to have that set, I know, Super Bowl weekend. And you still got time to get it for Super Bowl weekend. So that's everything I'm going to be using. Plus, I am using one of my favorite Princess House tools to make this recipe. And this is actually called a scraper, but I very rarely use it for that. I use it as a tool in the kitchen all the time. So let me go ahead, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put my carrots in. And I'm just going to saute these a little bit, and just until they're translucent. I'm going to drop my heat down because I don't need to do this on a high temperature mode. And I'm going to put my onion in. We're just going to put these 2 items together just long enough for them to saute and become translucent. Just a little bit. Oh, I love the smell of fresh onions. Now we're going to add some garlic. And when these 3 aromas get together, oh, it smells so good. And because I really didn't put oil in this, I am going to put my lid on. And again, I'm using an 8-inch non-stick skillet. I'm going to, again, lower the temperature even more. And I'm just going to let the steam make those vegetables nice and soft. While I'm doing that, I am going to now use my spinach, and I'm using one of our Fantasia Fresh 8x8 square containers because I want to put all of this in my Fantasia Fresh 8x8 when I'm finished so that it can be stored in the refrigerator. So I've got my spinach all ready to go, just letting that take care of itself. Meanwhile, I'm going to hop back over, see how my veggies are doing, and they are almost ready. Actually, they're doing very good. And of course, everything that we're using is all fresh ingredients. And the reason for that is you want to make sure that you're not consuming something that you don't know. A lot of those packages, and I was very guilty of getting those packages of seasoning to make my spinach dip, but I didn't realize how many preservatives were in those packets. So if you can do this real quickly without getting those packets, you're better off. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put my yogurt in. And it's amazing all the wonderful dishes you can use yogurt. And again, you want to be sure to use a yogurt that is not one of those non-fat yogurts. You want to use a Greek yogurt or a plain yogurt, not one of those non-fat, because you're going to need the taste that you get from the plain yogurt. Okay? I'm going to put my little mayo in. Basically, this is so easy because once you get all the ingredients in, it's just a matter of mixing everything together. Okay, so my veggies should really be ready. Yes, they are. So that steam actually helped. Turn that off. The steam from the lid made those vegetables cook so nicely. And by the way, some people like to have their spinach dip warm. And if you like to have your spinach dip warm, you can do that as well. So now we have all of our ingredients, except I do need to add a little salt and pepper. So we're going to add our salt and pepper. And this is salt and pepper to taste. And then you basically just mix all of the ingredients together. And as I mentioned earlier, you could decide that you would like this warm, and if so, you could have it warm, or if you want to chill it. Now, what I will be doing is I will be putting this in my Fantasia Fresh 8 by 8 and storing it so the flavors can penetrate one another, because when you do that the next day, oh, is it so good. So that's what I'm going to do. There are several options as well in what you can add to the recipe. For example, you can add chestnuts. You might want to add cheese. You can add additional items to your spinach dip. But this is looking so good. And of course, you can also put a little more fresh garlic. So I have some shredded garlic that I'm also going to add. It's just a little bit extra. In fact, that just gives it a little more zip. I'm going to make sure we mix that all the way through. And then we do like a little spice around here. So I'm going to put a little crushed red pepper in. And once again, you can serve this as soon as you make it, or you can place it in the refrigerator and let those flavors completely penetrate one another and allow you to have even more flavor. So, believe it or not, it is ready. Now, what I would do if I were serving, I would take my center bowl and I would put my dip in it, and I've got my chips, and of course you want to make sure you're using a whole grain chip like I have, or the healthiest chips you can, if chips can be healthy, that is. But this would be the perfect dish as you're sitting there watching your favorite team win the football game this weekend. Now, I also want to share with you that everything that I have used today to prepare my healthy spinach dip is available in my Facebook shop. Yes, I have a Facebook shop. If you're watching my video from Facebook, then you can easily find it on my Facebook business page, which is Princess House Independent Organizer Healthy Cooking with Joan. And if you're watching from YouTube, switch on over into Facebook so you can take a look at every item I've used today in my Facebook shop. And by the way, if you don't want just one item or two items that you saw today, but you want it all, I've put together a package that's called Football Weekend. And in that package, I have everything that I've used today, and the special allows you to get it all at 50% off. So I'm going to test my spinach dip, and I'm going to say good night to you guys, and I hope you are going to be a winner on this weekend as you watch your favorite team. And remember, you're always a winner with me. And check out my Facebook shop. Until the next time, Bye, everybody.
Sign me up for the Princess House Express. Write my name on the road called to success. I've been chasing such joy in Princess House. I wanna be a part of this great team. Didn't David with Goliath? Did it take him to his knees? Didn't Daniel beat the lions without a hardly a wheeze? You know Jonah surely made it from the belly of the well. When Samson brought the house down,